Okay, so I got this comment on my last video, and it really got me thinking. Like, I read it because it was talking about, like, hey man, like, how many chapters a day do I need to read to be considered a manga reader, right? Because, like, sometimes work or burnout, like, I've done videos on that kind of stuff, and I think everyone in this hobby kind of goes through those phases, right? And I even had to comment back, and I was like, hey man, can I use this for a video? So I'm using it for a video because I think it might be a very interesting topic to talk about. Because honestly, I feel like to a certain degree, I have felt that way for kind of a multitude of reasons. And the first reason being, honestly, there are no reasons. You thought I was going to do a list. I am not. I'm just going to ramble about this because I read this comment, and when he was like, what considers me a manga reader? You read manga. At the end of the day, right, even if you take a break or you get burnt out or you work, people have lives, you know what I mean? And things get involved with those lives, and sometimes you're like, get too busy or you just are too tired. A lot of stuff going on, and if a hobby that's supposed to bring you enjoyment, you are stressing about, like, I still want to be included in this hobby, so I have to force myself to do this to be considered a manga reader. I don't think that's good. And I've struggled with that, right? And that's why I wanted to make this video. It's not to, like, I don't want to come off like talking down, because I would not do that. I'm just going to talk about myself and what I've gone through, and hopefully people can relate. Is when you feel like this hobby, it is your thing, you know? It is the thing that you enjoy the most, and you just love the community aspect. Maybe you've made like some friends in real life or online friends or something like that, and then it happens where maybe you're not as interested in it so much. It's okay, you know? I think that's okay to take a break, to be burnt out, to honestly walk away from a hobby if you're not enjoying it. Life is too short to do a hobby that you don't enjoy. And again, trust me, look through this channel. I have done burnout videos before, but I feel like I've come to the realization that a hobby doesn't have to be your personality type. I know what you're hey, whoa. Look at this room. Look at this camera. Look at this video. I get it. Hey, whoa, I get it. I get it. It's hard for a guy that posts a bunch of manga YouTube videos to talk about, like, it doesn't need to be your personality. But I get it. No. The irony is not lost on me. But here's the important thing. The important thing is it's just a hobby. Like, it is just something that you should do because you enjoy it. I think that idea that you want to fit in, and this is like, I feel like way bigger than the topic of this video, but that idea of like, well, you know, all my friends really like Vagabond. I also like Vagabond. Don't do that, man. Like, just like the stuff you like. I think that is one of the best things. You know, I'm a little older, not ancient, but you know, not far off, I'm going to be honest. My bones hurt more lately. That's a whole other thing. But the great thing about the internet and being connected and like finding your own little spot on the internet is you can like what you like. And you can find people that also like that stuff. And really, at the end of the day, even if nobody likes that stuff, that's okay too. Like, you could be the only one to be like, hey, you know what's great? You know what's great? Dragon Ball GT. I just looked up. It's the Dragon... Here, hold on. The Dragon Ball shelf was above me. That's how the Dragon Ball GT thing happened. I just lied. Dragon Ball GT's okay. You know what I'm saying? Not great. Could be better. But hey, in Dragon Ball Daima, we got Super Saiyan 4 like canon this time. So, you know, things are looking up for Dragon Ball GT. Also, Dragon Ball Super One-Shot's coming out. This is not this video. All right, on track. I am so sorry. Listen, the point of this is like what you like, and who cares? Don't feel that pressure, man, of like, I gotta read this stuff. I gotta read every day. You don't have to read every day. You don't have to read every week. You don't have to read every month. I just think that's added pressure on yourself. I know, I hear what you're saying. I am talking to myself. This is honestly just me venting to myself and trying to lock this in too, because I struggle with this, man. I struggle with that idea of I need to read, or I need to read these certain things. And I really should stop doing that. I think that's why this comment hit me so much, is it felt like the perfect comment at the perfect time. Just like that idea of someone being like, I gotta read, how many daily chapters? I gotta be out there every day. Because I've thought that way. And yeah, like it's in my routine, like, because I read before I go to sleep, and it does help me sleep. But guess what? When it doesn't help me sleep and I don't want to do it, I don't do it anymore. I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to take a break tonight, you know? But it does help me, like, not scroll on my phone. Oh my God. Who has done this? You just pick up your phone and you're just like, what did I even just, I don't even remember what I just watched. It happens to me all the time. Because at the end of the day, this stuff is cool. This stuff is amazing. It's some of the stuff that I love the most. I just love the stories inside of even series like My Name is Shinzo. Hey, Editor Me here. If you just heard, I said my name is Shinzo. What I meant to say was my name is Shingo. So apparently I can't speak very well, so you know, there's that. Anyway, back to the video. Dude, I've wanted to do a video on this since I read it. It's not completed in these perfect editions. There's only like 3 volumes out. I've read all 3 volumes. What a wild story this is. Maybe I'll talk about it one day, but like, it's all about being entertained and thinking about that idea of pressuring yourself to reach this certain goal. You know, like, I gotta read this immediately when I pick it up. If you want to read it the day you pick it up, read it. But if you want it to sit on the shelf while you finish another series, or maybe you bought it because it was on sale and you'll get around to it one day, that's okay too, you know? And I think that's why I wanted to make a video like this. I know it's very rambly and it's not like the normal videos I make, but I think it's important. And I hope the point that I'm trying to make gets across, because I didn't really want to write anything down or really think about it too much. I just kind of want to turn on this camera and go. So, let's hope it makes sense. Let's hope it's not too bad. Because I just really, I know I've struggled with it, of that pressure for a hobby, and it seems weird, right? And I know there's probably somebody watching this right now and being like, yeah, dude, yes, that is weird. It's just a hobby, relax. I totally understand what you're saying, but also you got to think, like, it does happen, you know? And I can only speak for myself, I don't want to speak for others, but you do kind of sometimes feel that pressure of, oh, I really loved reading. I was on this reading kick, man. I was on the reading train destination, 1,000 pages a day. You know what I mean? You were there. You were like, oh, we are chugging along and it's going great. And all of a sudden, breaks hit. And you don't read for a while. And you're like, what is this? Like, it's this thing. Because I think it is a type of hobby. I mean, there are multiple hobbies like this. That it does feel like it can be all throws, all in. And then randomly, one day, you're like, I don't really feel like reading today. And then one day turns into 1 week, and 1 week turns into 1 month. And you're like, I still don't feel like reading. Like, what? Did I just waste a ton of my money on this thing? Maybe. No, could you imagine? Could you imagine I'm really trying to be like thoughtful, like try to think about stuff, and then the answer is like, yeah, maybe. Honestly, did you need all the Chainsaw Man immediately? Maybe you did. That's okay, man. Like, there's some series in this collection that I will absolutely get rid of one day, and I still don't consider that like a bad thing. I just consider like your tastes change. And that's good. Like, that idea that you have to read the same thing, the same genre or the same demographic, or I am not knowledgeable enough to like ramble, especially not having looked into anything of like, you know, seinen, shonen, shoujo, josei. But guess what? It's okay for your taste to branch out. That's what I want to say about that. Maybe one day I'll kind of like really do some reading and like looking into that stuff, and maybe ramble into this microphone about it for a while, but it's not today. That's not what this video is about. But I do want to make that point of it's okay for your taste to change, even taste in hobbies, you know. And it's funny, and this is really gonna be a ramble, but it's funny like watching manga YouTube, you know. There were a ton of people that I watched when I first started really like collecting manga. Like, I'm sure a ton of you have watched, and you know, they don't upload anymore, or they want to branch out and do different content. Like the Dark Sage that does the hip hop Beyond the Beat stuff now. I saw on Instagram like HVL Manga might want to branch out and do like reading content and stuff like that. And these guys, they want to make content about stuff that they like, and I think that's a good thing. I wouldn't want them making manga content if that's not what they're into. It doesn't mean that they're like not manga readers, you know what I mean? And it's not like they didn't probably, and I'm gonna be honest with you, and there's a bunch more like East Coast. I'm not gonna go through all of them. We've talked about them before, but they did a bunch about getting people interested in manga during that time. And so they're still a part of this community, in my opinion. And so I think that if your tastes change, it doesn't mean that you're no longer welcomed, you know? I think that's, I don't know, I don't see it that way. That's me personally. Which honestly, that gets me to the most interesting point that I think that I want to kind of talk about to kind of wrap this video up. Hopefully you've been enjoying it, but there's just one more thing, right, to kind of wrap it all together. And that is, there's already enough bad things on the internet, so I don't really care if you have read 2 manga. If you want to learn about manga and like enjoy this hobby, you're a manga reader, right? And you're a part of the manga community if that's what you want. Because I think a lot of hobbies, the good thing about them is the friends and stuff that you get out of being a part of a hobbyist community, you know? As long as you're coming in there and being cool and being nice and just kind of enjoying it, and not like, oh, you don't like the, you do not read 50 chapters a day? Not a part of this. Hey, whoa, 48? Too low. Get your numbers up. I'm good, man. If you've only read 2, yeah, you're good here, you know? So I just think that a hobby is supposed to be fun, and I think putting that pressure on yourself to buy a certain amount, read a certain amount, it's not a hobby anymore. That's almost a 9 to 5. What are we doing? Like, I do this to not think about the 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm reading Naruto to not think about the 9 to 5. So as long as you're enjoying what you're reading, or trying to branch out and, you know, try to open your reading habits to something new, I think that's an amazing thing, you know? And if you're burnout, take your time. You know what I'm saying? Go play some video games, man. Go learn an instrument. I should have learned an instrument. Imagine if I learned the piano just right here. Just hold on. It's pretty good. That's an audio track I put in. There's no piano here, but I should have learned when I was in my burnout phase. But yeah, man, just enjoy it until you don't enjoy it anymore, and then move on. And that's okay. It's about the journey, not the destination. That's what they say. I don't know who they are, but they do say it. But yeah, man, I don't know. I just really wanted to kind of ramble about this. I don't even know if this video made sense or if it's any good. But if you've made it to the end of it, I really appreciate it. And hopefully you got something out of it. But yeah, as always, man, if you're having a bad day, I hope it gets better. If you're having a good day, I hope it becomes fantastic. I'll see you next time.